All right.
Welcome, suspicious village folk, corrupt squires, taxmen, and low budget Captain Hook to the 321st episode of the Unearthly Podcast, streaming live on the 11th of September 2019, and featuring The Smugglers, written by Brian Hale and starring William Hartnell as the Doctor, Anarchy Wills as Polly, and Michael Craze as Ben Jackson. I'm your host for this evening, Randy Ronson McCulloch, and with me on the panel tonight is our technical director, Mad Matt Winchell,
Aye, laddie.
and Tim the Enchanter Sheridan.
How do you do?
Bill Sylvia, the Man in Black, got called into work and is having an exceedingly bad day.
Exceedingly bad week or month, to that matter.
And Thomas Fireheart, of course, does not do the telesnapped episodes.
He's too good for them.
Gooble gobble, gooble gobble. One of us. One of us.
I should warn you ahead of time, the area where Matt and I live, southern Wisconsin, is currently under a severe thunderstorm watch.
Actually, I just checked Weather Channel and I got Jack.
Really?
Yeah. Like, there's maybe a little bit of rain coming at us at like 4 in the morning.
Maybe that storm that went through about an hour ago was the last of it.
Yeah, maybe it kind of pushed in a weird angle, came in early.
Yeah. Until 9:15 p.m. Yeah, it looks like that came through early.
Yeah. All right, there we are. It solved itself. Congratulations, Weather. You outdid yourself.
I was going to warn you that might mean that one or both of us may lose power during the stream, but apparently if our power's not out now, we should be okay.
Of course, don't
Where
tell
did
that to Discord or anything, or they'll unplug the internet for Wisconsin again for about a second or two.
Yeah, don't tempt Murphy. So my week hasn't been much better. I've had an on-again, off-again issue with my foot apparently swelling and causing issues. Apparently it might be related to gout or a form of tendinitis. We're not sure which. Either way, joy.
Yar.
Foot's actually hurting less now than it was earlier tonight, as apparently, as I'm sitting here, suddenly my toe just like popped into joint.
At least it went into joint instead of out of it.
Yeah.
I've been having an alright week. I've had to pop a couple allergy pills, but that's been about the worst of it. Although tonight I had to take some pain relievers because in the midst of me trying to stream Warcraft 2, all of a sudden I had a level where it just refuses to let me win. I went at like at least 5 different times restarting from the beginning, and it's like, okay, I get to the point that I make a shipyard, make an oil platform, and every juggernaut is breathing down my neck.
And of course, your computer did decide to try to update everything in the middle of our Borderlands stream.
Yeah, so speaking of which, so I started looking around at what was going on with my system because of the whole Borderlands bugging out. First of all, yes, it seems like Windows was trying to update, and I managed to let it go, but it failed the update, as it usually does lately. Also, my antivirus wanted to update, so I let that happen. I started trying to look around. Essentially, what I figured out was if you search for a thing called an event viewer, there's a few things in there that can allow you to see when major events happen on your computer, and that can lead you to seeing when errors happen. And apparently, there's been a constant on-again, off-again error with my antivirus, and I don't understand why. But after figuring that much out, I also found out that apparently a lot of people are pissed off with Avast because it's been bugging out updates for Windows.
Yeah, there's a reason I don't use Avast.
Yeah, there's some weird little tie-ins going on with there. What do you use, by the way?
At the moment, I'm just using Windows Defender.
I'm actually kind of trying to see if there's a way to go back to that, because apparently it's actually not that bad.
Yeah, that's kind of my point. I used to use Symantec antivirus because it was free through the university. But because I'm no longer affiliated with the university, I don't have access to their download sites anymore. So not really having the budget for anything. Most of the free antivirus programs I see out there are crap.
They're varying levels, but it seems like the ones that used to be decent are suddenly just going down the drain. Yeah.
Yeah. Avast and AVG both seem to be paranoid system eaters. And
Not only that, but they seem to be in a hug box together because they're practically the same antivirus now, and they ate up CCleaner, and they're using code from that to pump their stuff too.
Well, regardless, I'm just staying away from them because they're just causing more problems than they're solving.
It's been fine for me except for this thing. So what I had to do is last night, I want to say somewhere between like midnight and 1, I physically started a download of Windows Update.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know when it actually started finishing stuff. All I know is around 3 in the morning, I'm like, I can't be staying up anymore. I'm just going to turn off my monitor for now. And I woke up at 7:30 and turned on my monitor to find it in the update mode. So it was updating, and it was like, I think it was something like 80% done when I turned on the monitor at 7:30 in the morning. By 8 o'clock, it finally finished, and I can't say I've had a problem since, and it seems to have legitimately updated everything because I've had to redo some things. Apparently, all my folders are reorganized in an odd way. Like, I think they went alphabetical again instead of by creation date, which drives me up the wall.
There's a way to fix that.
I'm fixing it slowly but surely. Every folder I come across, yeah.
I don't know. I keep my stuff in alphabetical because it's easier for me to find.
I keep it in most recently worked on because it's easier for me to find because I don't need to search in the W's and the S's or M's for multiple things when I can just have what I worked on lately at the very top. It just helps with making title cards every day.
Yeah, well, I used to keep all that stuff in a bunch of whip bins anyway.
And also, it messed with my audio. I had to return on my mic, listening to my microphone, so I could actually double check my audio levels. And I also got into Discord today, and I originally couldn't hear Tim, and I had to keep messing with the audio until it worked. So that's been a weird batch of things. And I believe I've mentioned a little bit before, I didn't care. Yeah, right before the stream, I've been attempting Spirit Destiny again on a lighter level. So far, it seems to be running smoothly. We'll see how. It seems almost too smoothly. We'll see how things turn out when I get to the place where I got stuck.
All right. Well, let's get into tonight's show. On tonight's show, we have news and birthdays, and not a lot of either. None of us have any geek talk. It's been kind of an off week for us.
Yeah, it's actually been really quiet for stuff.
No Bill, so no review of Shame.
Shame.
I don't really have a rant this week. I had one last week, but I don't feel like talking about it again.
Yeah.
I didn't see any YouTube comments. It doesn't mean there aren't any. It just means I haven't seen them.
Yeah.
And, of course, then we'll get into our episode summary, which I believe is Tim this week.
Yes.
Because Bill, it would be Bill, but Bill is not here again. I swear he's just
he's dodging constantly.
Yeah.
Next time he's gonna be around, we have to tell him next week he has to do it no matter what now.
Bill, we are strapping you to the podcast until you do a summary.
Yes.
You are next for the summary every week, Bill, until you catch up.
And then, of course, the review, our final thoughts, and our ratings. So, going into birthdays, we have two of them, both on the 9th of September, which was on Monday. The first of which is Hugh Grant, who played the 12th Doctor in Curse of Fatal Death. The young, handsome Doctor. He turned 59, which goes to show how long ago that was.
Yeah.
Also on the same day is the birthday of Janet Fielding, who played Tegan Jovanka from 1981 to 1984. And currently on Big Finish. She turned 66.
Oh, wow. So the picture I found of her is 6 years old. It's literally her and her birthday cake was a little Dalek cutout cardboard thing with cupcakes all over it on shelves, with a big 60 on top.
Yep.
It was amusing,
So
so I said yes.
So happy birthday, Hugh and Janet. Moving into news, we have no Series 12 news today. I'm not surprised. We think filming may be finished. We're not certain on that. And then we have some alumni news, and I believe that's you, Matt.
Oh, I'm on. Okay.
Well, yeah, there's only 3 of us.
Yep.
Actually,
It would have been Bill, but Bill's not here.
all right, I'll take over for Bill's position.
Yeah.
When I can open up the tab, right? Okay, there we go. So, Jenna Coleman is to star in a BBC Netflix drama, The Serpent. Fresh off the 3rd season of Victoria, Jenna Coleman is willing to let the ground cool beneath her feet. She's already signed up. She isn't willing to let the ground cool beneath her feet. She's already signed up for a new drama in the hiatus between seasons. This time, a BBC Netflix co-production on the life of the serial killer Charles
I think it's Sovraj.
Silverage.
I think so.
The Serpent Coleman will, the Serpent, otherwise known as, Coleman will play a Canadian Mary Andre.
Leclerc.
Yeah, I was gonna say something Leclerc. Subdra love. One of Subdra's lovers and a devout follower. This is following news that Jenna's role will be recast in a later season of Victoria due to time. Due to the time skips. Okay.
Yeah, they say Jenna can do she's 30 and she's currently playing Victoria in her 30s.
Mm-hmm.
They say that she can probably do Victoria in her 30s or in her 40s, but
And 50s might be pushing a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So from then on, they would need somebody else who looks like her but a bit older.
Yep. The director says he has someone in mind, but won't say who.
Of course, they're going to always play that to their chest.
So he doesn't jinx it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Sean Connery?
I come out of retirement to replace Jenna Coleman.
They offered me to play the Queen in a dress. I said yes.
This is a more understandable role than Gandalf.
We are not amused.
I'm never amused. Suck it, Trebek.
Okay. Now that we've completely ruined that article, we're going to move on to awards, which we're not receiving ever.
Speak for yourself. One day the Nobel Prize will be mine.
One way or another, Trebek. One way or another.
Okay. The Welsh BAFTA have released their award nominations, and Doctor Who is up for 4. Jodie Whittaker has been nominated for Outstanding Actress. Arwell Wynne-Jones was nominated for Outstanding Production Design for The Current Console Room. The production team for The Doctor Falls was nominated for Outstanding Special and Visual Effects. And finally, Doctor Who was nominated for Outstanding Television Drama. The 28th British Academy Cymru Awards.
That's Welsh for Wales.
Awards ceremony will take place on October 13th, 2019 at St. David's Hall, Cardiff.
Yes, it's apparently Wales and spelled Cymru in Welsh because, they can't do anything there.
Can't do anything sensible with that.
And there's a shortage on vowels.
So I take it the Welsh BAFTA Awards are big in Wales, but are they well known in the rest of the UK?
I honestly don't know.
That's actually a good question.
I think the Welsh BAFTA Awards became a thing when BBC Wales became a thing. I mean, as a production house instead of just echoing what was on, BBC in London.
Yeah. If they got their own stuff, they're going to push their own stuff, right?
Right.
And anything else that they happen to like enough to put on their particular station.
Correct. All right, and that is going to take us to our Big Finish news. Lisa Bowerman brings David Warner home to meet the universe in the adventures of Bernice Summerfield Volume 5, Buried Memories. 4 new adventures taking place in the main Big Finish universe with the Unbound Doctor. And it includes Pride of the Lampion by Allison Leeds, Clear History by Doris V. Sutherland, Dead and Breakfast by April McCaffrey, and Burrowed Time by Lanny Woodward. The New Adventures of Bernice Summerfield Volume 5, Buried Memories, is available now, priced at £22.99 as a 4-disc CD box set, or £19.99 download, rising to $29 on CD and $24.99 download on general release. And coming soon from Big Finish, Freema Agyeman returns as Martha Jones in an upcoming monthly installment of Torchwood called Dissected. In it, Gwen Cuthbert comes to Martha wondering why they lost touch and to see if she can help her figure out what's up with the dead body she has with her. Torchwood Dissected, starring Freema Agyeman and Eve Miles, will be released in February 2020, priced at £70.99 on download or $9.99 on CD. And that is all our news.
Now, the one question I have about the dead body is, it might be dead, but is it inanimate?
I don't know.
And what does it say about the shows I watch that is a legitimate question?
Well, this is also Torchwood, so
What does it say about the shows we watch when we have to literally ask who's the daughter and who's the mother when it comes to having them in a lineup in our show? Hint, it's also a problem in Doctor Who. River Song.
They were talking about Walking Dead at my gaming session on Monday, and I'm like, I could care less these days.
Yeah, I don't know anybody who really cares about Walking Dead anymore. Apparently, it's burnt away less of its goodwill in the last season or two.
Well, they've killed off any character I cared about, so.
Mm-hmm. Like, there's none of the original characters anymore at all. It's like the series is going on only because the people behind it want to keep it going.
There's one character left, and that was the character that they custom created for the show. What's his face?
Well, then it's not a character that's originally supposed to be there in the first place.
Yeah, but it's the one that was well liked. The redneck, I forget his name.
Pardon me while I quietly roll my eyes. What is it with HBO and battering these dead horses?
Well, no, this isn't HBO. This is AMC.
Oh. Well, I guess it's cable stations battering these dead horses until there's nothing left of them.
Daryl, that's the guy. Daryl's the only one left that's still in it currently.
Oh, wow.
They've gotten rid of Rick. They've gotten rid of Carl. They've gotten rid of Glenn. Yeah, there's just no one left that anyone cares about these days. Oh, I guess Carol's still there, too.
No, wait, they're dead.
No, I took a quick look at the cast list and see who's listed through present. Who was in reoccurring season 1 and then was in season 2 through present. And those are the only 2 left. And I swear to God, Carol left. She must have come back.
Spin the wheel, see which one dies this season.
Mm-hmm.
Let's Game of Thrones this shit until everyone's dead. They're all dead. They're all dead, Dave.
Dead, Jim.
Oh.
Yes, Dave. They're all dead. They're all dead, Dave.
So, not really doing a full-on geek talk, but rumor, and this is all rumor has it, that Mark Hamill may be in the upcoming CW Crisis on Infinite Earths in a unknown role.
He seems to be poking his head in a lot of different things all of a
Well,
sudden.
mind you, he's been in roles in The Flash as the Trickster before,
Yeah.
but with the casting of Kevin Conroy as Bruce Wayne, as an older Bruce Wayne, we're wondering if he's going to be like an older Joker. I know Conroy.
Kill me.
I know Conroy wants it to happen.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. It'll be the first time they actually get to act face to face and their characters.
Yeah. But whether they're actually going to do that, don't know.
Speaking of which, the Joker movie. Have you seen the latest trailer on that?
Yeah, I saw the final trailer for it.
Yeah. They seem to be reaching hard for something.
Yeah, they seem to be doing like the Killing Joke version of the Joker.
No, it's like no other Joker.
No, I
before.
mean as far as origin.
Kinda. There's definitely a little bit of elements here and there of it. Yeah. I don't think he's going to do the Red Hood though. I think he's going to legit just break and jump right into Joker.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Well, in the Killing Joke, the Joker even says it. If he's going to have an origin story, he wants it to be multiple choice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not quite sure I buy him as the Joker. We'll see. It's really hard to do the origin of the Joker story because we saw them try to do it on Gotham, and it didn't quite work.
We'll see because apparently I mentioned the guy who's doing the Walking Phoenix, and my dad's like, "Wait, I know that guy. Let me have a look."
No, I think you could argue that the Joker works best without an origin if he's just like there, like without explanation. That makes him.
Yeah, too many people try to explain him away, and it doesn't always quite work. He's just kind of this random surprise that pops up, and as to where he actually comes from, people just only have vague hints.
Well, they never really established his origin in the original comics.
They've tried to establish his origin, but then they would establish another one.
When they brought him in, like I forget, I think it was the second.
When you first see him, no, he was given no origin whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. And then they only
just
kind
showed
of
up, and here's his calling card, which happens to be a Joker card.
Mm-hmm. Whereas, when they brought in like Robin and everybody, they did the full origin right there. But
pretty much. Actually, I'm not sure if the first Robin originally got an origin or not.
Yeah, they did. That was the.
I know Dick Grayson did eventually get an origin, but I can't remember because I think they had an early version of Robin back when Batman used to use a gun.
Not that I'm aware of. Dick Grayson.
I thought they did, but maybe they had altered it by then. By the time they brought Dick in.
Because as far as I'm aware, Robin was Dick Grayson, Jason Todd.
Yeah, it's always been those particular 3 or 4. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what Tim Drake.
Yeah, Drake.
Tim Drake, and then what's his face? Damian Wayne are the main ones, and then there was the female one, Stephanie something or other, who was only there briefly.
For the Dark Knight stuff, yeah.
Not for the Dark Knight stuff. This was the person that would later go on to be Spoiler.
Oh, then I have no clue.
Yeah, people forget about her a lot.
Not a clue. Blip on the radar, gone.
Yeah, that was kind of the thing. And I think they retconned her out when they did the New 52 too.
Wouldn't be surprised if they just couldn't figure out what to do with her character. That it just go and hand wave away.
No, they just hand waved it so that she had never been Robin, and that was.
Well, still either way, hand wave away.
Stephanie Brown, that was it. Yeah, it went Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, Stephanie Brown, Damian Wayne. And then they pretty much, when they did the New 52, they retconned everybody out but Dick being Robin and the others going on aliases. Like Tim Drake was Red Robin.
Yum.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was
Yeah.
the thing they did. Yeah. Yeah, Red Robin. So, who paid you for that additional name there, DC?
They also retconned out any other Batgirl but um, Barbara Gordon. And that was another thing that they got pissed about because Stephanie Brown, when she stopped being Robin, became the new Batgirl.
Hmm.
And then New 52 happened, and it all got wiped.
I think after New 52 they added another Batgirl again, but I can't remember who it was.
After New 52, it was back to being Barbara Gordon.
Oh, did they actually
And,
bring Barbara back into that? Yeesh.
yeah, because, as of prior to New 52, she was still paralyzed
Mm-hmm.
after the Joker shooting her in the back. And after New 52, it's like, yeah, the Joker still shot her in the back, but she got better.
DC, I can't squint hard enough at you. Ruining
What
any
else
kind
should
of
we
character
have
development
done?
whatsoever. Anyway.
Yep.
Yep. Anyway, that was pretty much the only geek talk I had. So it is down to our episode review.
Yep. And I
Yes.
believe you said Tim is up for today.
Yep.
Yep. Oh boy. Get ready for the most
Smugglers.
incoherent thing you've ever heard.
Get ready for Tim's incoherent rambles. Ready,
Yes.
Tim?
Ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
So, being the kind-hearted Samaritans that they are, Ben and Polly enter the TARDIS to return the key, and the Doctor is like, "Ah, nuts! We're all going to the 16th century." Actually, no, he says like, "I don't know where this thing is going because I'm the Doctor and I don't know where I'm going because that's the Doctor." Says. So they land in a cave near a beach. And the Doctor says, let's find out where we are. And they discover that they're around the early 1600s, in the time when men wore funny hats and wigs, and there were pirates about. They run into this guy who is the church warden of the local church. And the Doctor, being a nice guy for once, helps mend his broken finger, or his finger was dislocated, and the Doctor pops it back in place. And the church warden, whose name is Longfoot, says, if you need a place to stay, there's an inn up the road, and tell them I sent you. And then the Longfoot whispers to the Doctor some mysterious nursery rhyme called "This is Dead Man's Secret Key, Ringwood, Small Beer, Gurney." And the Doctor says, yes, I'll be sure to keep that in mind. Cuckoo, cuckoo. And he leaves. When he meets at the inn, they meet the innkeeper, Jacob Cooper, who at first is mistrusting of these strangers who showed up out of nowhere, but when they hear that when he hears that Longfoot sent them, he immediately offers them a room. However, Longfoot by now has been killed by a nasty pirate type fella named Cherub. And Cherub believes that Longfoot, who used to be a pirate but knows where the gold is buried that was captured by Captain Avery. After Cherub kills Longfoot, he goes up to the inn to find out what the three strangers know. He knocks out Ben and and Polly is helpless as the Doctor is kidnapped by Cherub and other pirates and taken back to the ship, where the Doctor is introduced to Captain Pike, but not Captain Christopher Pike, Captain Samuel Pike, who, unlike Captain Hook, has a pike for a hand. Very clever of that. Meanwhile, the local squire, who is the law in these parts, arrives and demands to know where Polly and Ben came from, but Polly and Ben, knowing that they wouldn't be believed, keep their lips shut. So they get arrested on suspicion of being the people who murdered the church warden Longfoot, because obviously the strangers did it, because no one in the town would have done it. Meanwhile, the Doctor is on board the ship, and he is being interrogated because they believe he knows where the pirate's gold is buried. The Doctor says he does not know anything, but just then, Jacob Cooper, the innkeeper, shows up and tries to make deals with the what am I call it, the pirate captain. Well, it turns out that the squire himself is smuggling wine and brandy and jewels all over. So eventually, I think if my memory of this episode serves, uh, the Doctor takes Captain Pike and the pirates to the church, where he figures out that the riddle the warden, the riddle the church warden gave him refers to grave markers, and the grave markers all point to a stone tablet in the floor, and that's where the gold is. But just then, the revenue officer comes with a militia, and there's a big battle with the pirates. And the pirates are all killed. And while everyone is distracted, Ben, Polly, and the Doctor escape through a secret tunnel in the church that leads all the way to the cave where the TARDIS is, conveniently. And then they escape, but just then they notice that the TARDIS has become freezing cold. So that's the teaser for the next episode.
Which we've
The
already
end.
reviewed. The end. 6 minutes. I'm gonna give you about 39 seconds.
Sorry, I got kind of flustered there, but
Yeah. And you completely omitted episode 3.
Oh wow.
What happened in that? Oh, there's a few little details there. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of back and forth of we're lost, we're back, we got captured, we got uncaptured. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, typical 60s stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so what did we like about this episode, Tim?
Oh, I really liked all the mystery and intrigue of, whose side is who on, and the the secret tunnels and the hidden deals, and the just the atmosphere in general, which I could only see by the audio, but even then the performances by the pirates and the actors playing the 16th century Cornish characters added a great deal to this, I think.
All right. Matt?
I can't remember how much I liked them in War Games, but Ben and Polly are pretty almost instantly likable as companions, even though they're kind of tossed off the deep end real quick. Like,
It was the War Machines. The War Games was the movie
oh,
with
the War Machines. Did I say War Games?
Yes, you did.
Oops, my bad. The War somethings. The ones with the
War
robots
Games,
that
the
tried
War
to
Games
club
was
the
the
first
end of
Doctor.
Troughton, actually.
The,
Another one.
the one with the robots that tried to club the Doctor, but the Doctor gives them a no hand signal and they start calming down.
And have like the world's most annoying sound.
Constantly playing while they're active, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And also the only serial where they actually called the Doctor Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor Who is required.
Required. That's the other thing too. The machine that's supposed to be giving the robots all their orders talks in a loud whisper, very slowly and phonetically.
Yeah. And well, back to this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Or back to this serial. What I liked about the episode is the fact that the audio pretty much was pretty coherent through the first 3 episodes.
For most of it, yeah.
I was able to visualize what was happening fairly well. Up until the last bit where it became a fighting free-for-all, in which case you had no idea what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, at that point I'm just like, okay, and now a clusterfuck is happening because we can't see anything.
But again, I've had that problem with a few Big Finish audios too. Especially in the early days.
Happens when they're still getting their feet. On their feet, rather.
All right. So what did we dislike about this episode? Tim?
The one part of the whole intrigue thing that I thought wasn't handled too well was the character of the Squire. His motivation seemed to flip-flop between episodes. Like, at first he seemed like just an incompetent, bureaucratic, useless policeman, but then it seemed like he was actually in on it with the pirates. But then he's not against the pirates. Is like they couldn't make up their mind like where this one character stood, and it was kind of distracting, I think.
Okay.
I understood his what he was up to, but maybe that was just me. It didn't
Alright.
jar me that much.
Matt?
My thing I didn't like, what was his name? Blake?
The taxman?
Yeah, the tax man. Pretty much, he makes a grand appearance, I want to say, in episode 2. He's somewhat important to the story and runs off either late episode 2 or early episode 3, and then we see hide nor hair of him till late episode 4.
No, there's one scene where you see him fall off his horse.
Yeah. Like, we have a brief interlude for him to fall off a horse, and it's like, and this was poignant because...
Yep. Ooh, I'm starting to hear thunder. That means there might be another storm on the way. Anyway. Yeah, he was kind of a what the heck, and then kind of used as a Deus Ex.
Yeah, he was like a last-minute Deus Ex. It's like they knew what they wanted to end on, but they had to backtrack how to get him in there, and they left him out for like a good portion of the 3rd episode.
Okay. So what I didn't like about this serial, Captain Pike. He is such a Captain Hook XB.
Oh, they definitely wanted a Captain Hook wannabe, yeah.
I mean, you take a look at his freaking face, and he's basically done up to look like the Disney Captain Hook.
When did the Disney Captain Hook come out, or Peter Pan rather?
Peter Pan?
Yeah, when did the Disney's Peter Pan come out? I don't think it's till after this.
I think it was before this.
Maybe it was shortly before this. I don't know.
1953, so it was out.
Oh wow, it's actually been out a while.
Yeah.
So never mind. Yeah, they were trying desperately to make their own version of Captain Hook.
Yep.
That's rather
Yeah.
cheap of them.
And I mean, he had the same hair, the same frickin' face. And oh, look, he had a pike for a hand instead of a hook, and his name was Pike.
Well, yeah, he had the pike's blade for a replacement of a hand.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm just like, really? Freaking, why didn't you just call him James Pike? Come on. Oh, Jesus. He's like low budget Captain Hook so much. I'm like, no. You just want him to go around. It's like, and where is Peter Pan?
You also want
All
him
right.
to suddenly get nervous tick whenever he hears a clock.
Yes. And you want his bosun to be called Smee.
Spee!
Still, I think the best version of Smee was Bob Hoskins back in Hook.
One of the good ones, yeah.
All right. So, favorite scene.
Okay, my favorite scene was would it be cheating to say all the actual footage that was kept?
Like the
Yes.
little clips here and there, and yeah, that would be cheating.
Cheating. Okay, then I'll have to say my favorite scene is when the Doctor plays fortune teller with the playing cards as a means to escape.
That was an interesting way of doing it.
It was interesting, but also very basic, and just basic enough that it works.
All right, Matt, how about you?
Something similar. The Ben and Polly trick to make the stable boy believe that they're all witches.
God damn it, Matt.
I didn't get to see it, so it is a little bit downgraded, but it still sounded like it was an interesting attempt.
All right, and I think mine is probably them starting to figure out the riddle when they're in the graveyard.
Hmm.
And they, it's just one of those. It's just the aha moment.
Yeah, it's the right aha moment that they needed to finally get the plot going,
Mm-hmm.
to getting it solved.
All right, your least favorite scene, Tim.
Okay, so my least favorite scene would have to be the one at the beginning when Ben does not believe that the TARDIS has gone back in time, and he thinks is like they're still in 1960s London. Simply because that really doesn't have any resolution. It's like we don't really see that the moment when Ben like changes his mind and just like says we are in the past after all. Or if that scene did happen, I missed it.
I think there's a very quick mention in the first episode after they meet the church guy. I keep forgetting what they call him.
Uh,
Longshoe, was it?
Longfoot.
Longfoot.
Longfoot. After they meet Longfoot, I think there was a very quick moment where he's like, "We are in the 17th century, aren't we? Oh shoot!" On their way out.
And yeah, to be honest, there's a lot of Ben in this that annoys the hell out of me because he keeps moaning on about missing his ship. You're dealing with time travel, moron.
Yeah, right. That's probably the one thing that does make a negative mark for me on him is the constant moaning about his boat. We'll put you in the boat. We'll put you in the pirate boat and ship you out. You can be quiet about boats.
All right, Matt, how about you? Your least favorite scene?
My least favorite scene is also the somewhat least sensical. It'd be the first episode when Cherub kills Longfoot. Essentially, you just see him throw the knife at his back, and we actually did have one of the few clips that we did get in this. And he immediately just starts with the threats because, threatening a man who's dying is totally going to get all the answers you want. Dummy. None of these pirates seem to understand tact.
Yeah.
And Cherub in particular seems to be the number one problem of that.
Yeah, and mine's along the same line. It's when Pike kills Jamaica, was it?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
Jamaica.
Yeah. Because, yeah, okay, he let them get away. So anything that you do that wrongs him is penalized by death. It's not a way of really ensuring loyalty of your crew. It's kind of,
It's a very narrow mindset that just makes you go, don't fail me or you're dead.
yeah. It's kind of the I'm a villain cliche.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look, I'm Voldemort. Fuck you. Yeah. Yeah, it's just not one that works with.
That's the worst way to go about it as a boss. As a boss, he should be talking to Jamaica to calm him down, make him realize the problem, and never do it again.
I mean, as a pirate, he should, probably hang from the yardarm or something like that. But outright killing him's not what you do.
Yeah, some sort of punishment to just drive the point home, never mess up like that again.
Right.
That's how you keep a crew around. Not to mention, you get the bloodthirstiness out of the rest of the crew out of them by having them torture whoever's in trouble for the day.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that wasn't even yardarm offense. That was worth a simple flogging, really.
More or less, yeah. A flogging or a whipping or something of the like. And that would have been with anyone in the crew.
But Pike, nope. You got to die because you failed.
Because I'm Cheap Captain Hook. Time to die.
Wow, we're up to our final thoughts already.
Hot dang.
This is going to be one hell of a short episode. But we should do it and get it done before the storm hits, because I'm still listening to it rumble out there.
I'm not hearing anything, but again, I have my nice new headset on.
You're also, about, 100 miles northeast of here?
Yeah, it could be hitting you early, depending.
Yeah, because these are going southeast to north, or southwest to northeast, so I'm just getting it first. Anyway, final thoughts, Tim.
Final thoughts. This seemed like it was originally a pretty exciting episode. The characters were intriguing and mysterious in that old time pulp story way. I liked the interplay between Ben and Polly. The Doctor was inoffensive, and just when it seemed that I was too sick of the photo snaps, I was blessed with actual footage.
For just a few seconds.
Just a few seconds. Just enough to tide me over until the next time it happened. So I think this was a slightly above average telesnap episode, so to say.
All right. Matt?
I'd like to make a couple of quick notes. First of all, those clips that we got tend to be more towards the more violent parts of the episode, which tells me that these were probably things left on the Australian cutting room floor that they managed to find, because they are historically known for cutting out bloodless things and proclaiming them too violent, especially back in the day. Another thing I would like to mention. Oh, what was it now? There's something else that I really liked, and I just happened to think of it and then forgot it again. So never mind. Maybe I'll think of it again later. But final thoughts on it. Um, the characters seemed interesting. Some of the writing
Yes,
seemed.
by the way, you are correct, Matt. Of all 4 episodes of the serial are considered missing, the soundtrack and telesnap survive, along with bits of Australian censor footage.
Boom.
Called it. And I didn't disagree with you. I just double-checked that.
Just double checking the what I thought was right. Yes, I kind of figured it would be, because a lot of the stuff we saw that was in clips was literally people getting stabbed and killed and so on. So yeah, that was the cut stuff. Um, a lot of the characters seemed to be interesting. The plot seemed really well done. Some of the character bits seemed a bit off in places. Of course, the whole Ben trying to get back to my boat thing was annoying, and thankfully by the next episode he gave it up. I remember the temp plant, he was actually legitimately more worried about surviving Cybermen than worrying about getting back to his proper time. Um, Other than that, the Doctor seems pretty good on this one too. William Hartnell seems to be doing a pretty solid job on this one. He also plays a little bit of chess master in this episode, which is interesting. He's playing his cards close to his chest and just going, ah. Oh, that's right. The other thing I wanted to mention is I also like the fact that the curse is legitimate, though not as one would think. Because they're all after this supposedly accursed treasure cache.
Mm-hmm.
The curse is people's greed. In case it's too subtle for some people. But otherwise, yeah, it's not majorly outstanding, but it does seem like a bit of fun, and I would have really loved if that last episode in particular was actually back, so we could have something to go with that collage of noise.
All right. So my thoughts is this was a good episode. The characters were a little one-dimensional and stereotypy. Their linguistics is based more on Treasure Island speak than actual lingo of the times.
Hmm.
But still, it's, it would have been a good episode had it been complete.
Mm-hmm.
The first 3 episodes don't really suffer too badly from being telesnapped, but that 4th episode really drags it down, probably into the realm of mediocre. It's still okay, but be prepared to be kind of lost in the 4th act.
Yep.
All right. Ratings. Tim.
Ratings. Okay. So, since I did like the story, so I shall give this, despite it being a toss up, I shall give this 3 stars.
0.0 from Tim. Matt?
I think I'm there too. This is a 3.0 and it could be pushed to a 4 very easily if we have some stuff back.
And for once, the panel all agrees. I'm pretty sure this is a solid. Like I said, I think it would have been a 4, but it dropped down to a 3 because of that. And that makes, of course, the average a 3, which puts this in the wonderful 3.0 range of 264 out of 310. It is on par with Revelation of the Daleks, Dinosaurs on a Spaceship, The Ultimate Foe, Deep Breath, The Beast Below, The End of Time, and The Wheel in Space. It is better than Aliens of London, World War III, The Horns of Nyman, hey, that's a recent one, Vampires in Venice, Time of the Doctor, and is not as good as The Sea Devils, Planet of Fire, Survival, The Invasion of the Dinosaurs, Asylum of the Daleks, ouch, The Mysterious Planet, Cold War, and The Rings of the Cotton.
Yeah. Now
So
imagine how much that's going to get pushed if they ever animate it or do something else to bring back the video. So.
Yep. There we go, 264. out of 310. That's all we have to say about the Smugglers.
You're me hearties, and while we be here, we might as well bring up our little image holder here. And if you be wanting to help us out, you can always check us out on YouTube at Unearthly Podcast. You can catch us live and have the uncut VODs for at least a week on Twitch at Unearthly Podcast. You can find our recent posts on Twitter at Unearthly Pod. You can find us on the Facebooks with the Unearthly Podcast. Or if you're enjoying our show, you can join us on Patreon and throw us a shilling or two at Unearthly Podcast.
All right, next week. Well, as of this reading, we are now done with all of the Hartnell telesnaps. Can I get a yay, guys? Come on. Perfect. So, next week we will move on to the first missing Troughton serial that we haven't already done. It's The Underwater Menace, written by Jeffrey Orm and starring Patrick Troughton as the Doctor, Anarchy Wills as Polly, Michael Craze as Ben, and Fraser Hines as Jamie in his second episode. So we'll see you next week.
It's the Undersea Kingdom. Good night.
Good night, everybody.